So how about those Philadelphia Eagles? Well, we were due for a blowout. I feel like we've had a lot of great games, kind of due for a not so great one. Well, it was great if you're an Eagles fan because they were able to win this one handily. A lot of fun stuff to talk about. Let's talk about why this offense was able to just play so well. All right, let's start off with this play. So what's going to happen here is it's going to be a zone coverage play. This was the, really what set the tone for how this game would go right off the bat. What's going to happen is it's a zone coverage play, and you have a tight end who's going to start off on the left side of the screen and go towards the right. You also have Devonta Smith, who's going to start off on the right side of the screen and go towards the left. Now, typically, what do you do in this spot? Typically, it's whatever the safety does, you throw it the other way. If the safety stays deep, you throw it over the middle. If the safety covers over the middle, you throw it deep. That's typically how this read goes, but there's one exception, and that exception is going to be shown here. It happens off screen, so I'll just explain what happens now, is that the corner who's in charge of covering the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, he's going to move a lot further in, making the deep route still a one-on-one matchup, but just with a safety there. Like, watch as when Hurts takes the snap, he runs the play action. Play action works, gets linebackers out of position, but doesn't matter. He's going deep because he sees a one-on-one matchup. And if you see the one-on-one matchup, take the one-on-one matchup that far down the field, especially when it's Devonta Smith. That makes it a lot easier of a decision. Watch as it was just a beautiful throw from Jalen Hurts, and right out the bat, making you say, okay, Devonta Smith might be an issue. The Eagles' offense might just be an issue as a whole. Heading over to something like this, they started running, these types of plays, where what's going to happen is it's going to be a man coverage play, and they're running a pick play, right? Relatively simple, and I think you could even argue this one might have been illegal. I think you could argue it. To me, it's a borderline one, but it's designed to get Dallas Goedert the ball, which is, again, unique. A lot of times what you do is you have your, you don't have a receiver block for a tight end, you have your tight end block for a receiver, but this can obviously help set things up. It helps sell as though, you're not running a pick play here when you actually are, just makes it a little bit easier to fool opposing teams. Watch as when this play begins. Again, you see right here, the contact, again, you could argue is, not really selling as though you're running a route, could be a little bit past the yard down the field, but again, it's borderline. What you do see, though, is Goedert is about to get open, and what I love about this play from Hurts is how quickly he's going to make this throw, because it's worth mentioning the situation. This is a 3rd down and 5, so a bit risky to run the pick play here just in general because you are inherently going to be throwing short of the 1st down marker, but you're just trusting that your talented players can get past the 1st down marker, which at this point, looks like it will happen. As you see, Hurts puts this one right on the money. Good catch by Goedert. Looks like he only used one hand and then is able to do the rest of the work, get into the end zone for a touchdown. Hey, quarterback's job is to get the ball in his talented players' hands, and that's exactly what Jalen Hurts did on that play. Is it the most, dramatic of throws from Hurts? No, but it's still a really accurate throw, and they were able to get the touchdown out of it. You have something like this, which is, again, simple, but hey, give Devonta Smith the ball. Why not? What's going to happen here is it's just this is not a pick play. It's a wide receiver screen, so a little bit different. But what's interesting is that, there's 2 Giants players over there, 2 Eagles players over there. So it's not like one of the situations where you're getting an offensive lineman out there and potentially blocking everybody. Not everybody is going to be blocked on this play. Look at how when it begins, you see that, it's well blocked by A.J. Brown to get the first defensive back out of the area, but it's going to be Nick McLeod who has a chance to get Smith. And really, this is going to be just kind of a one-on-one matchup in a sense of just try to win your battle. On a 2nd down and goal, you'd love to get the tackle and force a 3rd down and goal. However, as you see, Smith is able to just take it all the way in for a touchdown. It's a great piece of running by Smith. Great job by him in open space. And again, being able to do that stuff, that's how you win football games. And so really good job by him to be able to, again, find ways to get into the end zone and turn a couple yards into a touchdown. Also, something like this, which you knew that there was probably going to be some of this for the Philadelphia Eagles. This is what the Eagles like to do, is they like to run with Jalen Hurts. And it's something that was really effective the last time these 2 teams played. I keep saying the last time. What I really mean is, that week 14 matchup with these 2 teams that was really the only time they played this year. Week 18, neither team was putting too much effort into it as the Giants didn't play their starters. Eagles were kind of coasting in that one. Weird scenario. In this game, in the first game, this was a factor. It was a factor here as well, where it's going to be a designed run for Jalen Hurts. And you see just on the screen why this is so deadly, because it gives you an extra blocker. The halfback can block defensive player here for the Giants. So for the Giants, who's the closest unblocked man? It's going to be that guy who is Jalen Smith. Yes, that Jalen Smith, the guy who was, a very good player for the Cowboys for several years. He is the closest unblocked guy here, so he's the one who it's going to come down to. Watch is right when this play begins. It kind of moves in a little bit, takes a little bit of an awkward angle, which again is understandable. He doesn't know where Jalen Hurts is going to run, but now he does, and now it's going to come down to, again, a one-on-one matchup. Who's going to be able to win this? Is Hurts going to get to the end zone, or is Smith going to be able to make the tackle? Well, as you see, Hurts is going to be able to get into the end zone. Again, good stuff by Jalen Hurts, but it's also it's an extra tool that the Eagles have in their tool belt, is being able to do this type of stuff, being able to have guys who can make plays, whether it's Goedert, whether it's Smith, or whether it's Jalen Hurts himself, having guys who can come in and make these plays. My only real major negative by the Eagles offense would be this play, which even this is not a major negative, but it's like the only real thing I have, I think, is, it was probably the scariest point in the game for the Eagles, although it still probably wasn't that scary for them. It's not saying much. It wasn't a very scary game. Things went pretty well for you guys. But you see, I've circled a Giant player. He's going to be blitzing, and I think Hurts just never saw him. I think that's what happened here. Because look at how when this play begins, the blitz was actually picked up a little bit by a tight end. He just kind of missed the block. So at this point, there's pressure coming from either side of Hurts. I think he sees the pressure coming from his left. It just never realized there was a blitzer towards his right the entire time. But it's something you would like to see him pick up. I think that's fair to say. Again, it happens. It's not the end of the world. But, it's the playoffs. And at this point, it's a 21-point game with 19 minutes left in the game. I mean, if you fumble the ball here and then the Giants are able to take it down the field, score just like that, heading into the fourth quarter, you're only up 2 scores, which you still feel good about, but maybe not as good as you want to feel. As you see, the ball does get knocked out, but the Eagles recover. So all is well that ends well. Not the end of the world. But again, football's a weirdly shaped ball. If it bounces in a weird way, maybe the Giants recover. Still don't think they win, though. I still think the Eagles probably, hang on to this one and get the victory. As a whole, I mean, it was, again, this is my negative. Everything else was positive. This was a very positive day by the Eagles. They were able to really dominate, I thought. Again, I expected the Eagles to play well in this one. I think they're a much better team than the Giants, and I think it was a bad matchup for the Giants. But still, I think it's still noteworthy to go in, play a team that, you're supposed to beat and not, beat the brakes off of them in the playoffs. That's not so easy to do. And just like this, the Eagles will be hosting a playoff game. They might be the only team hosting a playoff game next week, as there could be a neutral site game in the AFC with a shot to go to the Super Bowl. You're feeling pretty good about yourself if you're an Eagles fan. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.